You read environmental signals with what? Their nervous system. It's perception. I perceive what's going on in the environment. But that's not the end of it, because the next level of control is more important. It's not just the nervous system response to stimulus response. It involves the mind. Why is the mind relevant? Mind is interpretation. And the significance of this, two people can be in the exact same environment, having the exact same influence of environmental signals, but with two different perceptions of what's going on, they have two different totally responses in their body. So all of a sudden, it's not the environment, it's your perception and your interpretation of the environment, which is the mind's role. And when the mind interprets, what it does, it sends signals back into the brain, and the brain releases chemicals that are matching the interpretation. And those chemicals are sent into the blood, or those chemicals are sent via the nervous system to the cells, and the relevance is at the cells. The signals, just like in a plastic dish, the signals control behavior and gene activity. And all of a sudden you see what's at the top of this whole thing is the mind. I go, well, what chemicals should the mind release? Well, I say, well, I was a cell biologist, but we are all, every one of us, self-biologists. And we are creating our biology. As it shows, the brain is creating the culture medium, the blood, and the culture medium is being used to feed the 50 trillion cells in your body. I say, well, what's relevant? I say this, you open your eyes, you see someone you love. Oh, when you see someone you love, what kind of chemicals go in the blood? Dopamine, oxytocin, vasopressin, growth hormone. I say, why are those chemicals relevant? I can tell you a simple fact. If I take those chemicals, add them to my plastic petri dish of cells, the cells grow exuberantly well. I say, isn't that interesting? When people fall in love, they're so healthy they glow. Why is that? And the answer is the chemistry in their body is fulfilling the fullest growth potential of your cells in love. I say, well, what about the same person? They open their eyes, but they don't see someone that they love. They see something that scares them. I say, oh, fear, that releases a completely different set of chemicals. When you're experiencing or perceiving, interpreting fear, you release stress hormones and inflammatory agents. I say, why relevance? I say, take the stress hormones, inflammatory agents, add them to the petri dish and plastics petri dish with cells, and guess what? The cells stop growing. And that's why fear kills. It's an effort of the system to conserve energy. So don't grow if you have to run away from the tiger. Stop growing and use that energy for escape. Well, it was only meant in history to run away from the saber-toothed tiger. Meaning, okay, you got 20 minutes, scare the hell out of you, and you get away from that tiger, and then guess what? You relax and you go back into growth again. But we don't have that in our world today. We have 24/7, 365 stress. That means every day you read the paper, you watch the TV, you do whatever you're doing. What are you doing? Releasing stress hormones into your body. From your what? Interpretation. Same body, you could look at something and be in love and have a completely different vision. And all of a sudden you realize you were the master, but we have let other people control our interpretations. And as a result, their interpretations control our lives. And we have been disempowered by that. And the